Residents in Miami-Dade and Broward County are having trouble finding gas after last week's record rain in Fort Lauderdale delayed deliveries to many gas stations. What residents and officials are saying about the shortages.
The consumer had the wrong information and they panicked.
Plus, riding for a cause. What one local group is doing to raise money and awareness for people with autism.
Autism is not a disability, it is a special ability.
And later on, UM hosted the annual Student Organization Awards this week to honor and recognize students who go above and beyond to serve their classmates.
The SOAR Award for Student of the Year just kind of was an added bonus, and I'm happy to accept it any day.
These stories and a lot more on tonight's show. NewsVision starts right now.
Welcome to tonight's episode of NewsVision. I'm Jayra Rivero.
And I'm Sophia Vitello. Thank you for joining us tonight. We told you about the record amount of rain that fell in South Florida last week. And since then, residents across Miami-Dade and Broward counties have been lining up at the pump after severe flooding has delayed gas deliveries in the area. Wyatt Kopelman has the details.
Many gas pumps in South Florida haven't had fuel for residents to fill their vehicles after last week's record rain delayed deliveries to many stations. And this shortage left some people stuck on the road.
The majority of these people that were trapped and required rescue were actually in their vehicles. They misnavigated, misjudged the water height and water levels, and became stranded in their vehicles.
But Miami native Andre Stephanie has faced much worse, waiting as long as 10 to 12 hours to fill up his car back home in Venezuela.
That's sleeping in the car, man, and you couldn't get the tank full. So the parameters are wider for people that have lived through more difficult things. And I think this spreads out a little bit the understanding of people of how good it is to have gas so easy everywhere.
And while fuel tanks ran dry at some gas stations, lines at others went all the way into the streets. According to tech company Gas Buddy, 59% of gas stations in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale area closed on Wednesday, leaving more residents with panic.
The consumer had the wrong information and they panicked, literally panicked, because there was a shortage of fuel. That is totally incorrect. We had plenty of fuel. We still have plenty of fuel today. We have plenty of fuel when the flooding occurred. It is not a problem of lack of fuel.
Gas stations in South Florida are still facing challenges and are aware of the operational concerns. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Wyatt Kopelman.
The gas crisis was supposed to be resolved by now, but most gas stations are still dry, and those that have some gas are swamped with cars. Melanie Lowe joins us now live from one of the gas stations around campus to tell us more. Melanie, what is the latest?
Jayra, I'm here at Shell in South Miami, where there is currently no regular gas due to shortages in South Florida. Now, these shortages are a result of delays in delivery trucks from Port Everglades. Following the 25 inches of rain that occurred in Fort Lauderdale last week, these trucks were unable to deliver to Miami-Dade and Broward County due to massive amounts of flooding. Now, over half of the gas stations in Miami-Dade are without regular gas, causing panic buying and surges in demand prices. It's unclear when the issue will be resolved, but residents can only hope it will be soon. Melanie Lowe, UMTV.
All right, Melanie, thank you. And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' battle with Disney continues with one not so magical threat. DeSantis now says he may build a prison next to the Orlando theme parks. Earlier this year, DeSantis planned to take over the Reedy Creek Improvement District, which gives Disney control over the land surrounding its resort. The governor assigned his own board to run the district, but the previous members stopped it. They quietly stripped Reedy Creek of its power and handed full control to Disney. DeSantis' new bill will try to nullify that action, but his retaliation doesn't appear to stop there.
Maybe try to do more amusement parks. Someone even said, maybe you need another state prison. Who knows? I mean, I just think that the possibilities are endless.
Disney says, according to Florida law, its board move is legal because it was agreed to in meetings that were advertised to the public.
And Disney is not the only one going head-to-head with Ron DeSantis. Donald Trump is too. But this conflict is over the 2024 presidential election. Today, former President Trump is set to meet with Florida lawmakers who have endorsed him in an effort to intimidate DeSantis. The Florida governor visited Washington, D.C. on Tuesday to meet with the members of Congress about his potential run for president. Trump has been attacking the governor for months, even urging him to not run.
Much more difficult time than he has in the past, and so we'll see how it works out. The primaries are a brutal process, as you know, a real meat grinder. I don't know who will ultimately prevail, but I think Governor DeSantis will be in the mix.
The Board of Education has voted Wednesday to put a ban on discussions of sexual orientation and gender identity through 12th grade. The move expands on a previous ban for kindergarten through 3rd grade. It's being applauded by some and met with outrage by others. Teachers who violate the new state policy could be suspended or have their teaching licenses revoked.
This is going to just destroy any semblance of community queer people have had at public schools in Florida. Sexuality, gender identity, that's a discussion that needs to be happening from an early age. It's a fact of life.
School is only so long. There's only so many minutes in a day. There's only so many minutes in a year. And every minute they waste on social indoctrination is a minute they haven't spent teaching.
According to Board of Education documents, the move will ban teaching about sexual orientation and gender identity unless it, quote, is either expressly required by state academic standards or is a part of a health or reproductive health class in which parents can choose to opt out.
And speaking of LGBTQ issues, one action-packed festivity brought people from across America to Miami over the weekend, some for friendship and some for forgiveness. Cal Friedman has the story.
In the bustling streets of South Beach lies a celebration of love, bringing people together from all across the country.
I wanted to know what goes on around there, gay prides, but I never got the chance to go to them.
The 15th annual South Beach Pride celebration presents an opportunity for people like Maldonado to connect with people just like him.
I've always been so friendly to everybody. I get mad like everybody, but I think it's about loving everybody.
South Beach Pride also brought dozens of local vendors promoting local businesses and those catering to Pride.
These vendors behind me have experienced hundreds of customers today on the final day of South Beach Pride. However, the event is for more than just the customers to get food. It's for these customers to find their true friends.
When I was growing up, I never went to any events or hang out with any people that was, gay friendly or was like me.
The events also brought people interested in gay pride, and even some looking for forgiveness.
The way the church has played it is you can be an adulterer, you can be bitter, and we'll love you in the church, just don't be gay. And that is completely wrong.
And for Renner, the event provided him a chance to not force his beliefs, but provide love for those in need.
When I talk to anybody who's gay, and first of all, I say sorry for what the church has done for you. And so for the church to be extremely judgmental is wrong. God hates the sin, he loves the person.
In South Beach, Florida, Cal Friedman, UMTV.
Tuesday was Yom HaShoah, also known as Holocaust Remembrance Day. On this day, the world pays tribute to those who were killed during World War II because of their religious beliefs. The Hillel Center on campus hosted a 6-hour event to honor the 6 million Jewish people who perished in the Holocaust. Students and staff took turns reading names of children who died during the Holocaust. The names are from Yad Vashem, a Jewish monument in Israel, dedicated in memory to the killed children. Anyone was welcome to read and even had the option to read names of their own family members who died during the Holocaust.
The names seem a little tricky, to be really honest. They're all names that are Eastern European, so kind of foreign to like what we're normally used to with names. But I think what's really special is that it might be tough to pronounce the names, but if these names don't get read, they're forgotten forever.
Schwartz said it's special to be a part of a university that allows Judaism to be freely expressed. The Hillel Center is hosting events often and welcomes all members of the community to join.
We will take a short break now, but when NewsVision returns, a fourth person is now behind bars in connection to a party mass shooting in Alabama that left 4 people dead. We'll tell you the charges the suspects are facing. Stay with us.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape.
The man accused of shooting a teen who mistakenly rang the wrong doorbell entered a not guilty plea Wednesday. 84-year-old Andrew Lester is facing felony assault and armed criminal action charges in Missouri. Police say he shot 16-year-old Ralph Yarl last Thursday. Officials say Yarl was trying to pick up his twin brothers and rang Lester's doorbell by accident because he was at the wrong address. Lester's defense team says he shot Yarl through the glass door without saying anything because he thought the teen was trying to break into his home. But Yarl's attorney says this does not justify Lester's actions.
Despite the pretext that he believed that someone was touching the door, there's no justification for the use of force other than he observed a black boy on his porch. And if you targeted this young man because of his black skin, that is in fact a hate crime.
A judge set Lester free on a $200,000 bond at Wednesday's hearing. Lester must report to police once a month and is not allowed to possess any weapons. He is due back in court June 1st. The teen was shot in the head, but has been released from the hospital and is recovering at home.
Police have arrested a 4th suspect today in connection to the Sweet 16 mass shooting in Dadeville, Alabama. That left 4 people dead and dozens of others injured. According to Alabama law enforcement, 20-year-old Johnny Letron Brown was arrested today with 4 counts of reckless murder. This comes after 2 teens and a 20-year-old were also arrested earlier this week and face the same charges. Local district attorney says the 2 teens arrested will be charged as adults. The shooting happened at a Sweet 16 birthday party over the weekend. 32 people were injured and 4 of them remain in critical condition.
This is Alabama. And when you pull out a gun and you start shooting people, we're going to put you in jail. Okay? We're going to do that because we're thinking about the families. We're concerned about the families.
Authorities say more charges will be filed in the incident.
Fox News will pay Dominion Voting Systems almost $800 million for allegedly defaming Dominion with claims of voting fraud during the 2020 election. In a statement, Fox said that some of Dominion claims were false, but the deal allegedly includes that Fox executives and on-air personalities will not have to testify on air regarding their statements. And while Dominion did not get the $1.6 billion they originally asked for, they are still walking away with around 8 times their 2018 revenue.
And this was the first time that someone has been held accountable in the form of a nearly $800 million payment for that. It is also, of course, a civil litigation, and it's about making my client whole.
This deal marks the end of a 2-year fight between the companies.
The 21-year-old Massachusetts Air National Guardsman accused of leaking classified government documents over social media appeared in court this week. Jack Teixeira was arrested 1 week ago on 2 charges under the Espionage Act for leaking sensitive information about the war in Ukraine. Yesterday, he appeared in court to waive his right to a preliminary charge. A federal judge granted a request form from the defense to delay the detention hearing for another 2 weeks, to give Teixeira's lawyers more time to prepare a defense. The leaked documents were originally posted on Discord, a social media platform popular among gamers. The FBI and news reporters found Teixeira by interviewing other members of Discord.
I think it's stunning that the Department of Defense and the intelligence agencies found out about it primarily from the press is unacceptable.
Teixeira will remain in custody until hearing.
Republican lawmakers say an agreement to raise the debt ceiling could come sooner rather than later as the June 5th budget deadline looms. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy traveled to the New York Stock Exchange on Monday to lay out Republicans' plan to raise the debt limit to pay off the federal government's $31.4 trillion debt. Speaker McCarthy says the U.S. must cut spending and criticizes Democrats for not sharing that concern.
Now, unlike President Biden, I don't dismiss Americans' fear about higher prices. I share them. And I share their conviction that we must change course before it's too late.
With a slim majority in the House, Republicans are going to have to draft a bill that can gain support from some of the most extreme members of the GOP who are claiming they want bigger cuts than McCarthy is proposing. And it's time to check in for the forecast. It's been really rainy and flooded here. I'm hoping for some better weather.
I know, I'm trying to go to the beach this weekend.
Well, thank God we have Charlotte Carl here to tell us more. Please, no flooding, right, Charlotte?
No flooding. But unfortunately for our friends out in the Midwest and the Great Plains, they have a line of severe storms that has been impacting them through the night last night and will continue to impact them today. This line is actually headed our way, but luckily it's going to weaken significantly in intensity. Here's a look at our live radar here. There's not much going on. We have some showers along the west coast, but those have mostly faded out, and they are going to continue to push off into the Gulf overnight tonight into tomorrow. Now, tomorrow we are going to see another line form in the middle of the state, and then those will subsequently push out again to the Gulf. Saturday is the day you need to keep an eye out for. We have a line of showers that's moving through. This is that front that I was talking about. Although it won't be this big and this significant in intensity, it will be scattered in nature. Those will also push off into the night between Saturday and Sunday morning. Now, the dew points. You've noticed that it may have been less humid out, and that's because we've had significantly lower dew points as a result of a front moving through again. Although those dew points have rebounded, we are going to see a slight relief over the weekend once again before they rebound back into those significantly humid values in the middle of next week. If you're headed out for Earth Day to do a little Earth Day cleanup, maybe a beach cleanup, again, keep an eye out for those afternoon showers, and it's going to be nice and warm outside, mid-80s for your high on Saturday. It's also going to be gusty. We're looking at mid-20s for wind gusts Sunday. This is at 5:30, mid-20s across our area, so hold on to your hats, and it is going to calm down into the night. Here's a look at your weekend forecast, those isolated showers and some wind, and then middle of next week, we're going to start to heat up more with those isolated afternoon showers. Fia?
Thanks so much, Charlotte. One woman may not have biked at a biking event, but her words paved the road for cycles of research to come. Reporter Ainsley Vetter has the story.
Miami resident Christina De Leon has tendencies that she says some people don't always understand.
I have my own special way of doing things, and I have my own unique way of being myself.
When she was 4 years old, Christina was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, a developmental disability that appears on a range, often affecting behaviors and social skills. The CDC reports almost 5.5 million cases of autism in adults in the U.S.
My mission is for me to educate people on autism, how to understand them, how to be more patient with them, because, you know, the autism, we talk from the heart.
On April 1st, Christina attended a bike ride hosted by the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue to motivate others to support people just like her. She joined some 200 other cyclists from the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, Miami residents, and first responders, all pedaling with purpose in honor of National Autism Awareness Day.
We're here together to support, to bring awareness
to bring inclusion.
Christina believes that despite challenges, people with autism can do anything.
Autism is not a disability, it is a special ability.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Ainsley Vetter.
And coming up in just a minute, the men's and women's basketball teams both lost some key players, but they have big futures ahead of them. Plus, a former Hurricanes football player who decided to pursue a career off the field, now helping current athletes with NIL deals. We'll bring you this and more after the break.
Hello and welcome to Hometown Heroes, a special UMTV show that highlights stories of extraordinary people who make our community and the world a better place. I'm your host, Daryl Barnes.
Five-year-old Faith was born with a brain injury that makes it difficult for her to walk, talk, and eat. And 2-year-old Maya is a cardiac baby.
I have it in my head, like every day, that they could get sick and something could happen to them.
In 2007, he graduated from the rehab program, but it didn't take long for him to return. This time, however, he came on as a staff member.
Alex is going to be remembered as a hero, as a person that turned his life around and was able to give back to people.
And after struggling to overcome his own addiction, Thomas wanted to become a part of the solution.
When it comes to substance use disorder, you go to treatment if you're lucky, and then good luck.
Join us on Thursday, April 27th for a UMTV special presentation, Hometown Heroes.
And welcome to sports. I'm Manny Nacarado. Miami men's basketball is saying goodbye to another one of its seniors after the team's run to the Final Four earlier this month. On Monday, senior Isaiah Wong officially declared for the NBA draft and will not return to Miami next season. Wong averaged 16 points and nearly 4.5 rebounds per game to win ACC Player of the Year this season as he helped lead Miami to its first Final Four appearance in school history.
I feel like it was a very difficult decision for like me and I feel like for the Miami fans, it was like a tough decision coming back or going to the NBA. At the end of the day, like the NBA is the main dream, and I feel like I made historic in Miami history, and I feel like I'm good where I'm at with the Miami fans. And
Wong also said he has signed with an agent and will not return to Miami, as he will begin workouts with NBA teams in the weeks leading up to the NBA draft on June 22nd. The landscape of college athletics took a big shift when NIL deals entered the ring, but this can be difficult for these young athletes to navigate. Taryn Jacobs tells us about one person who's trying to get players the opportunities to make these deals.
Sean O'Dare spent his college days representing the U as a college football athlete. But after he hung up the cleats, he took a different path to success, now representing football players.
I played football in my life, loved the game, knew I wanted to stay involved in some capacity. To me, the agent route is the closest thing to actually still playing.
As an NFL agent for Rosenhaus Sports, Sean O'Dare is always contacting and recruiting clients. Rosenhaus Sports represents over 100 active NFL clients, but with NIL opportunities now available to college athletes, O'Dare is introduced to a new way of being an agent.
Now that we can work with guys in college, it's going to practices, it's seeing guys working, trying to get marketing deals.
We sometimes grab dinner and stuff, maybe go catch a game or something like that. Yeah, so me and his relationship is really tight.
But beyond building relationships with athletes playing under the bright lights of college football, O'Dare also has his own foundation in his hometown, Vero Beach, Florida, where he hosts football camps for aspiring football players.
Guys like Tyler Van Dyke, Elijah Arroyo, Xavier Restrepo, Jafari Harvey, all came up last year, was able to attend my camp.
And with all that comes with being an agent, his favorite part about the job is not just seeing what his clients do during their collegiate careers, but what comes after for them as professionals.
Seeing them get the call, seeing their dreams come true from when they were, a little kid, that, they're going to be a professional athlete now.
Reporting for UMTV, I'm Taryn Jacobs.
And speaking of name, image, and likeness, the Cavender twins have announced earlier this week that they will not be returning to the Hurricanes women's basketball team next season. But this will not be the last time we see the twins on the national stage.
Both Haley and Hannah have signed with sports gambling company Better Holdings to take on the roles of equity partners, content creators, and creative directors. Social media personality and professional boxer Jake Paul co-founded the company and will work with the Cavenders to host their podcast called Twin Talk. Well, that's all the time we have for sports this week. I'm Manny Nacarado. Back to you, Fia.
Okay, Manny, thank you. And time for a short break now, but don't go anywhere because we have more ahead on NewsVision. The Hurricanes are no stranger to spirit, and here on campus, one student organization made sure to recognize student leaders for all their hard work throughout the year. Melanie Lowe will have more when we return. Don't go away.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
As the University of Miami's spring semester comes to a close, the achievements of students across campus are being recognized in a very special way. Melanie Lowe has the story.
Representatives of UM student organizations, leaders, and faculty gathered on Tuesday to celebrate their accomplishments at the annual Student Organization Achievement and Recognition Ceremony called the SOAR Awards.
I think it's very important as a committee to recognize student organizations since that's our entire role. We serve as a resource and platform for student organizations to have their passion and interests communicated on campus, and highlighting that is very important.
Aside from recognizing student leadership at UM, the awards also underline the role of faculty and advisory leadership positions. The event has a masquerade theme symbolizing the unmasking of each organization, and a fun evening for everyone, along with food, drinks, sweet treats, and even a photo booth.
Definitely the food. It looks so good. I'm super excited for it, and just have a good time. You know, get up there, give the award, take pictures with everybody, celebrate. It's going to be a fun time.
This is the first time the SOAR Awards have been hosted in person in 3 years because of COVID.
Really, the award was just an added bonus just because of what we've done with Category 5 in the eye on the basketball season. Just creating that atmosphere, reaching student attendance records, and bringing everyone together. That was the award for me. The SOAR Award for Student of the Year just kind of was an added bonus, and I'm happy to accept it any day.
The ceremony emphasized the significance of student involvement at the University of Miami, and organizers say they will host similar events in the coming year. Melanie Lowe, UMTV.
And finally, every year UM students, faculty, and staff participate in a special day when they have the chance to give back to the community. Billy Brightman has details on this year's Day of Giving.
University of Miami alumni from all over the country represented the orange and green at the annual Canes Day of Service, an organized day of volunteering for past, present, and future Miami Hurricanes. Participants helped clean Miami beaches, and just up the Florida coastline, the Palm Beach County Canes community dedicated time to help out one animal hospital.
I almost fell off the chair when they reached out. I was so delighted to hear that there was an alumni group who was interested in coming to our rescue and volunteering to help the dogs and the cats.
From newborn puppies to older dogs, there was plenty of work to be done. Throughout the whole event, every cane was ready to lend a helping hand.
So I rescued my 2 puppies from here, and it was really nice working with them. And we just want to give back to the community, and we have, a lot of members on my board really love animals.
The organization is not only a vet's office, but a rescue center as well. They don't usually have over 100 animals in the facility, but with fostering and adoption numbers lower than usual, the rescue was thankful to have such a dedicated group of people helping out.
The event was even better than what I had expected because everyone came in to help. No matter what we said, what would you like to do, whether it was walking dogs, cleaning kennels, playing with kitties, laying floor, they wanted to do it all.
While Canes Day of Service has ended, Justin Bartlett Animal Hospital has its own volunteer program for those who want to help the many pets who still need loving homes. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Billy Brightman.
Oh, I need some puppy love. Who has puppies?
I have a dog.
I have 2.
So everyone has puppies and I haven't met them. What's that about?
We got to bring them next time.
Yeah, you got to bring them for next show.
Yeah, definitely.
Happy birthday, Professor Treadwell.
Happy birthday.
We love you so much and everything that you do for us. You're our favorite.
And that's all the time we have for NewsVision tonight. We'll see you back here next Thursday.
We will have a very special 1-hour-long show to mark the end of the spring semester. Tune into it next week at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, have a great night and stay safe.